What's up, YouTube? On this episode of Coddiwomple Overland, we're going to continue exploring the Trans-American Trail.
We don't need a destination, let's go where the river's taking us.
When we left you on the last episode, we had found camp just east of the Tennessee-North Carolina state lines. It had started raining, and it had rained all night long. Pretty heavy, actually. Last night we had a pretty big decision to make, whether we wanted to get a motel room or still stay out and camp. We decided to stay out and camp. There was quite a bit of pretty significant thunderstorms coming towards us last night. We found a good dispersed spot just outside of Robbinsville and set up. This was our first night in a real serious storm with the Teton, and it held up like a champ. We didn't, while we could hear the wind, we didn't feel any wind at all. Inside's completely dry, it's nice and warm, and I just can't say enough good things about it. We had a other than a panicked wife and a panicked dog for just hearing the wind and the lightning and the thunder, everything went great. Before we left this site, we decided to get out, take a little bit of a hike, just explore our surroundings and take in the views of all of the water. When you see the water rushing like this from the mountains, it really puts into perspective just the force of this water in nature. You know, sometimes it's not about big extravagant meals. Sometimes it's easy just to grab a pack of Belvitas. We took the easy way out on breakfast this morning and decided to get back on the trail. The campsite that we had picked last night was right along Santila Creek. There are many dispersed campsites along this road. This is also pretty close to the Cherahawla Skyway and not too far from the Tennessee state line. So we made our way up out of the valley floor. We were continued to be amazed by all of the water, and there were waterfalls everywhere. As we crossed through Stratton Gap, we changed from uphill to downhill and also into Tennessee. Continuing to lose elevation alongside the North River, one of the other things that we started to see was the peak of sunlight coming out behind the clouds. Not only does this road parallel this beautiful river, but it also has several campsites along it as well. If dispersed campsites happen to not be your thing, we stumbled across this primitive campground. There's no amenities other than a vault toilet, but it does look like a really nice campground. If we do have to stay in a campground, these are the kind that we prefer. As the North River reaches the Tellico, there's another road intersection for us. Going downstream was blocked, and I'm not sure whether that was from storm damage or it was a seasonal closure, but it's a good thing that we had planned on going upstream anyway. This section of Tellico River has always been one of our favorites. Not only is it beautiful with all the mountain laurel that stays green all year round, but there are a lot of different dispersed campsites along this river. Crossing over Basin Gap really lets you see the vast, beautiful landscape of eastern Tennessee. While morning turned into early afternoon, the clouds continued to give way to more and more sunny skies. After stopping and picking up a few supplies in Tellico Plains, it was time to start making our way up the Conasauga River. Well, we just passed some hunters who let us know that this water crossing here was up on their hood. So I think rather than taking a chance since we're by ourselves, we're going to turn around here and try to find another detour.
They said the second one was even deeper.
Yeah.
And once you drop off into it,
They didn't even go through the second one, so there's a good place here to turn around. So we're going to turn around right here and try to find another detour. We ended up having to backtrack quite a bit to get us back to where we wanted to be. We were going to meet some friends at camp for tonight so they would join us for the rest of the trip. We got up with them and decided to meet at one of those primitive type campsites that we had talked about before. So you're running 3 pans on a 2-burner stove?
Yeah, works fine. Just spin the pan every once in a while.
Another thing that we're really liking about the TetonX trailer is having a double shower tent on the back. You've got a dry place to be able to change your clothes, and then you also obviously have a place to take a shower. As cold as it was tonight, it was nice to be able to put the diesel heater on and heat that area up. After both hot meals and hot showers, it had been a long day and it was time for bed. There's nothing like waking up early at camp and just listening to the world wake up around you.
Yeah.
And then you have these two. Jeremiah and B brought Allie, their Rottweiler pup, to play with Aspen, and them two had a ball. We slowed things down quite a bit around camp this morning, enjoyed coffee and a delicious breakfast. After all of that, it was time to get back on the road and continue our exploration of the Tat. Yeah, you've seen this building and the Hiwassee River before on this same very video. We had to backtrack just a little bit to be able to get back on the trail. Not far after crossing the bridge, we hopped on another road paralleling the river that we would hope to get us back on the Trans-American Trail pretty fast. There's just something about overlooks like this, overlooking a river down through the Appalachian Mountains. It's just something special that you've got to stop and take some time for. After stopping for a minute to take it all in, these are the kind of views that Jeremiah and B typically don't get from Florida. So we're going to slow down and take as many of these as we can as we make our way up this incredible river. There are all kinds of recreational opportunities here along the Hiwassee River. Even as cool as it is, there are people out in the water fly fishing. Well, the morning started out with road closures. We got to camp last night, and just past the campsite there was a road closure. Apparently there was a bridge out because there was an 18-wheeler that showed up this morning with some beams to go across the bridge. So we decided to come back out. We were going to come back up over across the mountain, or over across the river, and then cross the river again here, and it shows a bridge that goes across right there. Well, what we found out was that is the TVA powerhouse, and the only people that can cross it are TVA employees. So we're not able to do that. We've came back, and this purple line is the part of the Tat yesterday that we were going to be traveling south on, but up here is where the water was high on the river crossing, so we decided to come all the way around. Now we're going to reverse this part of the Tat just far enough to be able to jump from the trail back over to this main road. Then we're going to come south and connect back into there, so we're only going to lose this section of the Tat right here. We had an awesome time exploring the TAT today, but we also wanted to get to camp a little bit early and have some daylight. This is one of Deb's easiest meals she makes, and it's one of my favorites. Aspen lost his ball in the water. It was a little bit too cold to get out there and get it, so Jeremiah got creative with an awning pole.
Go get it.
Go get it. Go get it.
He won't stick his head under the water because it's too cold.
Get it. Get it. Aspen wouldn't get it, so rather than hearing him bark all evening about the ball being in the water, I stepped down and got it for him.
Are you over here videotaping in case somebody wants to know?
Absolutely. What'd you do there, Bill?
So I don't know if you can see it in the dark or not, but the wood that we got tonight was extremely green. So we've had to improvise and put a little air to it just to get it to crank up some. In doing so, we got the embers a little hot, which translated to melting a light down.
Whose light is it? Is it your light?
No, it's not my light. Jeremiah light. So anybody has a fan with a light on it and would like to help a buddy out, maybe we can get Jeremiah a new light. Maybe an Ironman light.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Oh my God, he's going to be so muddy.
No, I think he's changing now.
That's her. She's eating Aspen. Oh, he's so yucky. Them people there packed up in the middle of the night.
This was the perfect morning to sit around and just enjoy camp. And we did, but I still also had to get a little bit of work done. After thoroughly enjoying our time around camp, getting a little bit of work done, it was time to get back on the trail and continue making our way toward Georgia.
instead of coming right through here, you dropped off of that.
But this time, it was mid-afternoon, and we had worked up an appetite. It was time to stop and take a break and just check out this really cool creek that we came across. Every time that we have drove past this campsite in the past, it's always been full. You can't see this part from the road. This is why. This is a beautiful swimming hole for the summertime. Had it been summer, I totally see us staying there and swimming through the afternoon and camping there for the night. But it's cold, so we didn't. We continued on. Crossing the Jacks River Bridge meant a couple of different things. First, it meant leaving the Cherokee National Forest and into the Chattahoochee. It also meant leaving Tennessee and into Georgia. The third thing it meant was it was time to start looking for camp for the evening. This is another one of those sections in this area that has a lot of dispersed camping. You just got to go check some of them out. They're nice and private, but you never know what's going to be at the end of them. So we had Jeremiah and B drive up there and check it out. This one was a really nice campsite, they said, so we decided to drive on up and join them. What we found when we got to the top, indeed, was a very nice campground with an incredible view, even a view of the sunset. But also what we found was it was extremely breezy. We had already seen a wind advisory come into effect for the rest of the night, so we thought about it, decided that we probably ought to move on and try to find something different because of the amount of wind that was going to be here. We ended up losing a little bit of elevation and finding a place tucked down in the trees that we thought was just going to be perfect for the night. We've been pulling a trailer for a little while now, and a lot of people ask us if a trailer hampers where we can camp at or it takes away from the experience. I don't think it does at all. You just kind of have to pick your places. Obviously, if they're not long enough, that's a problem. But if you take your time, you can back a trailer or pull a trailer pretty much into anywhere that you want to be.
Yeah, everything's dead.
We made it to camp, started setting up and looking around, and we realized that we're under about 3 dead big pine trees. So
Yeah.
that's the things you got to kind of look for. Even though this is a really cool campsite, it's time to move on and find something else.
Yeah.
I know what you're going to say. I should have looked at those trees before we took the time to back all the way down in there. And you're exactly right, I should have. But when we seen that place, we just knew that it was the perfect one. We again would end up driving into the dark before we found camp. And we also had to gain elevation to find it. It was windy and cold, but that didn't stop us from enjoying the evening and celebrating New Year's. So Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. It's freezing cold and spitting snow.
Well, you got a good fire.
We don't even know where we're at.
You're in Georgia.
We're in Georgia on the mountain.
It is gonna snow.
Like you can see it on my glasses. Can you see it now?
I can see it on your glasses now.
See it?
I didn't think you were crazy earlier, but
But now you know for sure.
I'm like, it's snowing, and everybody's like, no, it's not. Now it's snowing. It's snowing.
we're just sitting here chilling in the snow.
That is flat snowing.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
And we're just gonna sit here because they want to stay up till they want to stay up till midnight. And I said we should have went to bed at 10.
And miss all this fun?
I mean, what fun is this? We're freezing to death.
Nah.
And then I almost caught on fire. Oh my gosh, look at it. This is so cool. See, we could be at a bar.
Bar's nowhere near as fun.
What a great way to celebrate bringing in 2025. We're excited for the next year. We're going to be spending a lot of time on trails like this and many, many more. We hope you'll ride along with us, and maybe we'll see you along a trail sometime. Thanks again for watching. Until next time, see ya.